What do Falcons do? Rise up and try to stay warm in this cold weather that we've got. Welcome to Rise Up Reaction, show we talk all things Falcons, NFL, Georgia sports, and in general, the sports news of the day. I'm your host, Dr. Lee Denning, the Golden Hard Doc, and a lifelong sports fan, coming back to you today with my divisional round pick'ems for the 2024 playoffs. We only have 4 games to talk about, so let's jump right in. You don't have to hear me talk for that long today. So, the 2 Saturday games, we have the Texans at the Ravens as the opener. Texans playing an incredible game against what was considered the best defense in the NFL with the Cleveland Browns, winning a game playing with house money right now. C.J. Stroud looking great. I think he had 3 touchdowns in that game, over 250 yards. Their defense coming alive, and this team just believes in itself, and they are a miracle story this year of going from basically worst to first type situation. And unfortunately, though, I think that the ride is going to come to an end. That was an indoor game. You now have the cold weather that we're experiencing right now in Baltimore in the Northeast, where they're getting hit hard right now with this. And Baltimore is a team that is meant to ground and pound more than anything. They do have MVP candidate and a likely projected winner, Lamar Jackson there. So they do have weapons through the air, but I think that they are going to be better built to win this game. It's in Baltimore, so that really is what's going to make the difference for me, especially as we get into these cold weather areas, outdoor stadiums. So with that in mind, I don't have a lot to say here. I do think that the Cinderella run for the Texans is going to come to an end, and you're going to see the Ravens move on from this game. Nothing would make me happier than to see the Texans move on, though. I think they have waited a long time to have some success, especially in light of everything that's happened with their previous quarterback, who is a little bit gropey. So anyways, glad that they are having some success now, and couldn't be happier for them. They made incredible moves this past offseason, but I do think that the ride comes to an end. Then we go to the Packers at the 49ers. The Packers, oh my gosh, playing the most complete game we have seen from them all season. The defense coming alive. Joe Barry, out of nowhere, pulls this incredible defensive scheme and just absolutely destroys Dallas in the house that Jerry built. You got the 49ers who are on bye. The 49ers, I think, are a more talented team overall. They have better weapons on offense. They've been solid on defense. If you're just comparing apples to apples here, I do think the apples favor the 49ers. But with that said, I have voted for Tom Grossi to be Fan of the Year. Tom Grossi is an amazing YouTuber. If you don't know his story, you can find him at Tom Grossi Comedy. You can find him on YouTube. He's approaching 600. I think he's approaching 600,000 followers or subscribers. Certainly something to aspire to, but an incredible guy who spent this past offseason doing his 30 in 30 campaign, where he went to all 30 NFL stadiums and raised money and awareness for St. Jude's Children's Hospital out in Memphis, raised over $500,000. He delayed buying a house. I think he said he spent over $40,000 on this trip of his own money, plus contributions to St. Jude's on top of that. So just an incredible individual. There is not anybody I can think of that's more deserving of Fan of the Year. And with him being a Green Bay Packers guy, he talks about all sports, but with him being a Green Bay Packers guy, with his story, with him being voted as one of the possible 32 Fan of the Year candidates, man, I just love the Packers story. They're the youngest team in the NFL. I'm going to pick the Packers over the 49ers. I just think there's something about having that magic. The last time the Packers won, they were the 6th seed. They took on and destroyed the Falcons and went on a run from there. The Falcons, I believe, were the number 1 seed that year and lost to them in Atlanta in embarrassing fashion. And for whatever reason, the Packers are hot right now, and they are hot at the right time. The 49ers, I won't say they limped into the playoffs, but they didn't look great in the last month or so of the season. They were winning games, but they weren't winning in convincing fashion. So with that in mind, I will say the Green Bay Packers are going to find a way to make it to the NFC Championship game. Then we go on to our Sunday games. We have the Buccaneers at the Lions. Buccaneers, you had your bye week basically playing the lame duck Philadelphia Eagles, who got booted from the playoffs thanks to you. That in mind, this could be a close game, but it's in Detroit. Detroit, you finally won your first playoff game in Ford Field. First playoff game in 30-plus years. Incredible achievement for this team with Jared Goff, and you beat Matthew Stafford, the guy that you traded away to get Jared Goff. Matthew got his Super Bowl, and now you're hoping for yours. I'm going to say the Detroit Lions do beat the Buccaneers. I don't think the Buccaneers are a particularly good football team. I think they snuck into the playoffs by being a division winner, and that's about it. I don't think they're one of the better teams in the country, and I would put them at 8 out of 8 on the final rankings of this season. If you're looking at who made the playoffs here, they are definitely the weakest team left in the playoffs. I don't have much doubt here. I would smash the Lions all day long here to say they're going to win this game. I just think everything is pointing towards them having an incredible run here. And if all goes according to my plan, that would set up a Lions-Packers rematch for the NFC Championship game with one of two franchises going on to the Super Bowl. Either a functional rookie quarterback who has had an amazing year, and when I say functional rookie, I just mean he hasn't started for an entire season yet. So you have Jordan Love and one of the youngest teams in NFL history potentially going to the Super Bowl. Or you have the Detroit Lions, who have never won a Super Bowl in the Super Bowl era, had not won a playoff game in 30-plus years at Ford Field, and have the chance to go on a 3-game home streak to host playoffs to lead up to the Super Bowl in Las Vegas. Can you write it any better than that? I don't know, but I'm going to say that the Lions end up winning this game. And then finally, you have what should be the matchup of the ages, a rematch made in heaven here, a divisional game that has been played in Arrowhead more often than it's been played in Buffalo, and you have the Chiefs going to Buffalo. Now, Buffalo has not looked like a particularly strong team. They played very well against the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. Chiefs took care of business against the Miami Dolphins. But I don't know, man. This just feels like a Bills year. I think the Bills are going to make it to the next round, and it's going to be Bills-Ravens to see who goes in from the AFC side of things. I'm going to ultimately end up picking the Bills here. I just don't think Patrick Mahomes has it. It's hard to pick against him. He has basically played in the AFC Championship game almost every year if not every year, since he has been in the league. It's hard to pick against him. I just don't think they have the same magic that they've had in years past, and I think the Bills are going to be a gritty, tough team in Buffalo. Now, both of these teams are used to playing in cold weather. Kansas City just played the 3rd coldest game in NFL history. The Buffalo Bills had to delay their game due to a travel ban and the incredible amount of snow. If you watched fans in that game, there were no assigned seats. It just basically go, make a seat for yourself, clear out the snow as best you can, and you saw people just literally wading through chest-deep snow through the stands to get a seat. And I do think ultimately that the Bills are going to win this game at Highmark Stadium. And that's what I've got for you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. We have over 200 subscribers now. Thank you so much to those of you who continue to follow me. Trying to build this community out, and my goal is ultimately to get to over 500 subscribers by the end of next football season. We'll carry that goal into the off season. I have a few videos where I've already talked about the Falcons quarterback situation. We're starting to do some some head coach interviews now, so we'll see what we end up doing there. Again, I cannot say this enough. Please not Bill Belichick. Please not Bill Belichick. But thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. And as always, rise up.